Hello, I'm Reverend Kenny Callahan, the pastor of Metropolitan Community Church of Richmond. This coming Sunday, we begin a new sermon series where we will consider words that we hear a lot around MCC Richmond. Words like generosity, hospitality, servant leadership, faith, and others. The point of this sermon series is, what do we mean when we use these words? And how do they influence our lives? And how do we, as the beloved of God, apply them to our lives? We'll start with the word generosity. Our sacred text for this Sunday will be taken from Luke's story, the 10th chapter, verses 25 to 37, and then Luke 21 through verses 1 through 4. MCC Richmond is one of the most generous congregations I have served. On a regular basis, people are incredibly generous about sharing their gifts of time, talent, and treasure. And that word treasure is code in church world for money. Whenever there is a need, regardless what it is, if it's giving a ride or taking time to listen to someone or volunteering within a ministry or supporting a fundraiser or giving an offering to support the ministries of the church, this spiritual community is faithful and extremely generous. The giving of our money is important. However, a generous life is not just about money. Radical generosity is a way of living, not simply an act of giving. It's an attitude that we gain that reflects a mindset, that reflects a lifestyle. Generosity is a path to deep connection with God, with ourselves, and with others. As people of faith, we are blessed to imitate and mirror the actions of Jesus. In Scripture, we learn that everywhere Jesus went, he always seemed to touch people for the good. He was able to help bring change to their lives and to make their lives better, whether through a kind word, a powerful rebuke, or a touch of his hand, or even simply touching his garment, a spoken word of healing, or even words of prayer. Jesus generously brought life-changing and life-giving change. And Jesus calls us to be just like him, to be generous in every way we can as we go through our lives. Our call is to reach out in generosity, to provide a good word, a healing touch, to stand with the poor, the outcast, those who are beaten down by our society, the overlooked, the forgotten, the brokenhearted, and those who are hurting. Generosity, like any behavior or attitude, becomes easier with practice, because we live in a society that often glorifies individual success and possessions. We need all the practice that we can get. And I believe that we can learn habits of generosity, and the joy of living generously happens long before we have any money. I've also come to understand that when we act generously with our time and talents, we are more likely to be generous with our money as well. Society says success makes you happy. Happiness permits you to be generous. I believe that Jesus would say it more like this: generosity and compassion make you happy. Happy people are more likely to be successful. Now go and do. Be creative, be intentional, be compassionate, and be generous.